You at work?
Uh,
No.
How do you deal with this flood? When fears come in and flood your mind, when you think you're going down, when you think you're not going to make it, when you think you're going to fail God, or you've not measured up, when the enemy comes in and tells you that you're unworthy, you're unholy, you're no good, you'll never get it. What do you do when the enemy comes in like a flood? You see, the Lord raises up a standard. Let me show you what that standard is. Look at verse 1. The Lord reigneth. He is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. And he's put on his armor and set for battle. You have to have a clear vision that your Lord and Savior is standing by. His eyes on your flood, his eyes on you. You have to have a clear vision of what God has promised here. I've not ignored you. I see where you're at. I see what you're going through. Look at me, he says. I have girded myself. I put on my armor. I have my sword in hand. And then read what it says, verse 4. The Lord on high is mightier than the noise of many waters, yea, than the mighty waves of the sea. God says, get your eyes off the flood, get it on me. I've got my sword in hand. I am more powerful. I am mightier than all your floods. I'm bigger than all your fears. Get your eyes off your fears. He said, I've girded myself. That hit me. I could hardly sleep. I picture my Lord standing over me, sword in hand. He knows how far it can go and no farther. He'll come and slay the dragon in his time. He's saying, now you just stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. You just put your trust in me right now. Don't be afraid.
Hello.
There we go. My skipper's already trying to steal the intro too. What is this mutiny we're having today?
Yeah. Who's saying hi?
Hello, hello, friends and foes, bros, and dang it, you messed up the joke. It was friends and foes, bros, and sisters. Sisters. Yeah. Hello. Oh my gosh. What a brilliant start this is going with. Alrighty, everybody. We have a very special episode for you guys. But every episode is a special episode. We are going to be running a little bit tighter of a ship on this one here. We already have one stowaway that made it on here, but I guess he can, ride on the rudder or whatever, and board the ship. But we're just going to kind of keep the panel a little bit small for the beginning, and then maybe we'll open it up later. So before we start, let's go ahead and do this, just so we could just show off a little bit of artwork that my dear friends have made and have been staying up all night and improving, and just add, like, this was not like this, 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. The good thing is that the owner of this ministry, our brother Stephen, has selected very good tools when it comes to creating things like that, which we're not gonna say what they are. But it makes it a very pleasant journey to create each one. So for this one, although we were a little struggling, we didn't know exactly. Like on one hand, 2024 is here, and the alien deception is already unraveling with Miami, and at
Wait,
the
wait,
same
wait!
time,
You're
at the
jumping
same time,
you're jumping the gun here. Hold on, we're still talking about the artwork.
yeah. I'm just explaining the artwork. At the same time, there are people that keep writing on the comments, and we keep inviting them to come by. We can discuss a lot of stuff. We can discuss DNA. We can discuss redshifts. We can discuss parallax. We can discuss everything they want. And so we were like a little bit torn between, do we do a show on Christianity versus evolution? Let them come and attack so we can defend Christianity by destroying evolution, of course. Or should we just focus on the alien invasion? And deception. I mean, sorry, missing my missing my words here.
Yes, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the brain over there.
Eh,
I started this earlier than normal, so I could have my good friend here, and I think we got room for one more, but I'm gonna be specific on who that one person is. That's pretty awesome here, and we already have some comments coming in. Uh,
Hello,
I'm not. I'm
thank you,
not gonna.
Tasty.
I'm not gonna read the name because I don't know who the person is. Could be a troll name. Could be a real name.
It's
But
okay. Well, if it's a troll, usually they do not give any positivity at all. So he's not. Thank you, Tasty. And we are just trying to make this as fun as possible because we are having a great time with you. We hope that we make people enjoy every minute that they spend with us, have some laughs. So yeah, this background is a joint effort. It's a mutual effort, and many like we were working together like a group, and it's great to do that. Like you have two mouse pointers moving at the same time. One of them is adding one thing, then the other one resizes it, puts it exactly in place, makes us work like a team, and it's great.
it is very good, and we gotta give all the glory to God because really God is one who even allowed us to be introduced to each other, get to know each other, and have a you can't.
You asked for this, so that's what I did for you. And this is an invitation to the atheists. They can come in and play with us. We're in our funny mood, so we can spend some time laughing with evolution. Come right in.
Yeah, because we have to have a little bit of humor in our life. Okay, let's take it off now. Because let's see, I got some video clips, and of course, I kind of just hit the play button and see what happens. But there is a little method to the madness. We did have a kind of theme today where we were going to speak to atheists, and we're going to say, look, man, we could talk about two things. You could ask us about our faith, about Christianity, why this, that, and the other. Or we could talk to you about evolution and you explain to us dumb Christians what evolution is. Since apparently they think we don't know what evolution is, even though we kind of explain to them what the scientists say the explanation of evolution is. But for some reason, these YouTube atheists, they know far better than the scientists. They can define it way better.
I was reading something today. Um, should I just start talking about it? Nah,
Mm,
I'll wait.
dep-
I'll wait
dep-
for someone to bring up the discussion, and then I'm gonna hit him with that.
Okay.
So if you want to play something, go ahead. I have already brought a couple of clips together, but one of them I had to fix like the corners, and that's an effect that goes through the GPU, and it takes a lot of time to export it. It's only a 20-minute video, and it has taken so far 2 hours and 24 minutes, and it needs 1 more hour to export. I didn't expect that.
For a 20-minute video, do you have any like streaming software open?
I have
Any?
it. I have it. No, I have it on the on YouTube, but the one that presents it, he has it on a big wall.
Oh, okay. The one we talked about, we were
Yeah, and
watching.
what I did is make it vertical. But when you do that, it has to do it on each frame, and it's an effect. So yeah, it takes time.
Okay, so since we have our meetings at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, after we wake up from just having a weird thought about a show or anything like that, we were talking about things to talk about, and somebody changed the title. I don't know who to punish for that, but
Okay, I put
I'll
I
figure it out. I'll figure it out.
I've put the rest in the description. The
Okay.
alien part, I put it in the description because it was like a loaded question, they would say. So I left it as that and put the rest in the description.
I will say this, like whenever you are doing something like defending Christianity, it does kind of equal to destroying evolution because the two they just don't mix.
No, they don't. And Christians that believe in evolution have watered down their faith. They will say, no, I didn't water down the faith. No, you did, because you are calling God someone who makes experiments, someone who allows a lot of beings to die because they evolved with the wrong thing and they had to perish. So he's also cruel. And he needs a lot of experimentation of billions of years for things to actually work. There is an element of chance, a big element of chance. And yeah, that's not my God. My God snaps his fingers and does things.
And not
So,
only that, I mean, talk about like a huge leap of faith you have to have in this process that is so slow. We don't even see it happening. It's just like, I mean, you atheists, honestly, some of you atheists have a lot more faith than us Christians do.
oh no,
Um,
all of them. Are you kidding me? All of them. First off, by definition, we do not know if God exists. And exactly like that, we do not know that he doesn't exist. So it is faith from both sides. I believe he exists. I believe he doesn't exist. It's faith by definition. Then if we go into any field they choose, there's a lot of faith there. It's like, yeah, if you give it a lot of time. I remember how Kent Hovind was saying that long time ago. Um, how a frog can turn to a prince with a magic wand, but if you remove the magic wand and you add millions and billions of years, millions of years, it's no longer a fairy tale. Now it just became science.
it's science. Yes. So let us go ahead and let's start this off with a. Let's start this off with a. Let's kind of stir the pot a little bit, as we would say down here. Let's see.
I have something to tell you, and just randomly, I just learned about this, and it fits you so well. I read it again in the Bible. There's gonna be so many people that are like, but yeah, I don't give a
No,
shit.
but that's what the knowledge is. My grandma is from Alabama, and she's a strict Christian, and she's from Alabama, like down the sticks, middle of dirt mud, Alabama. And she, one of my aunts is a lawyer, and I remember my aunt. Sorry to interrupt you. My aunt.
No, I love this.
My aunt had a big court case coming up, and she'd spend half her time studying the case and half her time studying the Bible. And I remember being in her house. I must have been about 7 or 8 years old. And my mother asked her name is Liz, Liz, why are you reading the Bible so often? And she said, because that's where all the answers are.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Oh my gosh, the misogyny, and how dare you? How dare
He
you?
didn't cuss today, Lupin. What are they going to to attack you with now?
Oh, we will see. And honestly, who cares? Who cares really what they what they say here? All we want to do here is just glorify God, have a good time, and be with our Christians. You know, my shows aren't as serious as some of the others, but I tell you this much: you're gonna get at least a little bit of scripture somewhere in there. It may not be entire verses. It may not be the whole Bible all in once, but we're gonna talk about scripture. But we're also gonna talk about some other stuff too, and I guess I'll break the ice on this one. Now, this is already old news. There's an incident that you may have heard happen in Miami not too long ago. By the time that we heard about it, it was already 3 days ago, and I think we touched down on it. I know we talked about it in the back room. I don't think we talked about it on stage.
No,
And then
there were a couple of shows that it got mentioned.
Yeah, I know we talked about it on Liz's show. I'm just trying to say, okay, look, we're not slacking on the news, okay? We've been paying attention. We knew about this stuff before they knew about it. But anyway,
Yeah. And not only are we paying attention, we predict them. We give dates that when they're gonna happen. I mean, if we do that, there are some calculations. So where do the calculations come from? I mean, we're not prophets or anything like that, but we make some calculations according to what the Bible is warning us about, and we come up with stuff, and they happen. So
go figure, huh?
go figure, right?
I mean,
Anyway,
you were off by a couple of days, but I mean, what's a couple of days in about what 2,000, 4,000
well,
years?
look.
Uh-oh, I angered him. I made him angry.
No. I just don't wanna. I'm just saying how to phrase this because it's not me making the prediction. So it's just putting the math down. All I did was just put them down. So this relates to who the Antichrist is and where he is. After finding that, you do some calculations from the minute he signed with Israel, and with a fair amount of error that existed in the calculations, after the abomination of desolation, which was in May 2020, I just added 3.5 years, and the date was the 29th of December. So that would be the end of the year. So the end of the year arrived, and the first day of the year, the whole thing starts unraveling. So it's not like a bang. I was expecting something different, to be honest, but this keeps happening to those who are not prophets. There's a difference between a prediction and a calculation, a prophecy and a prediction. Like you predict that something is going to happen, but you don't know what. You don't have prophetic abilities. And it might also not happen. Maybe your math is wrong. A prophet will say that something will happen and that will happen. So we're not prophets. We just put some math down. And right where the math was pointing at, that thing started happening. So if we are starting with this discussion, I would like to start it in a specific narrative, which is the intro of the video freshly uploaded, which starts with the Mexican War. Because it's important, because if you can fool the United States at the first war that it did, the media didn't exist back then. And anyway, instead of ruining it, if you have something else you want to go to, because you brought this to the alien deception, if we are starting with that discussion, I'll go with that. If not, go ahead.
Well, oh man, you put me on the spot here. Okay, because
You're on gunpoint.
Yeah, you got the big gun too. Let me see.
You got the
So
cricket.
I was gonna start going off on how the mail system worked in a movie that I watched about that, but I personally thought that the movie was boring. Maybe Ryan might have a different opinion on
Which
that
movie?
one.
Which movie?
I forgot what the title was because it was about the mail service in like the 1800s. And it had Tom Hanks.
Pony Express? Pony Express? What was it?
No, it had Tom Hanks in it.
Okay, but I think it was called Pony Express back then.
It is called Pony Express, and the fact that a foreigner knows that and you don't, Lupin, is
not.
And
it
also,
is not.
kudos, Achilles.
It is not called the Pony. It is not called the Pony Express. Now I must search. Okay, you guys discuss, but I will prove both of you wrong. No, don't be.
I have nothing to prove. History has already established for us that our first mail carrier service was the Pony Express.
Oh, okay. That was not the name of the movie.
Do you want to know how I knew?
Stunk.
Do you want to know how I knew?
I'm not drunk yet.
Okay, I'm dying to tell you how I knew that.
Achilles, how did you know that it was called the Pony Express? I'm curious.
Thank you for that question. I was not expecting it. I was a Lucky Luke fan. I just loved reading Lucky Luke. So I had like a collection of all of the magazines, all of this. It was like printed, and I learned a lot of stuff. And then it's interesting to grow up and learn about all these stories that were all true. Like Earl White. What was the name? That is a movie with Kevin Costner.
White Earp.
White Earp. Have you seen that movie?
Multiple times, yes.
Yeah, I miss those times of Hollywood, man. I mean that. I'm stuck there. I'm stuck at that time of Hollywood.
Are you thinking of Wyatt or are you thinking of Tombstone?
Wyatt Earp.
You're thinking of Tombstone with Doc, right?
Both of them are very good.
I mean, granted, however, Tombstone though, right? I mean obviously.
I'm American. I am American, so I mean, right. I'll be your Huckleberry.
But just one as good as the other for sure.
I remember Wyatt Earp, and I also remember Maverick with the poker in the river at the steamboat.
Huh.
Remember that one? Well, Mel Gibson.
And if evolution is true, why are we not even faster Western slingers today? We should have a quicker draw than they did then, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because of evolution and mutation?
Let's not go that far because I could show you some videos of
I think it would work though, Lupin, because I asked Grayson how many times we had evolved in the past 6 million years, and he said like 13 times that were significant changes of species. And then I asked him how much we would evolve in the next 6 million years, and he told me that we're going to get taller. So, yeah.
I missed out on that one, bro. I mean, I think I would have rather had a tail than be taller. I could have dealt with a little bit shorter but thick tail, maybe like the tail of a kangaroo. Have you ever seen how they use their tails? It's incredible. It's like a third leg. Don't make a dirty joke out of that. And but no, it really is how they use it to like they prop themselves up and they use it to balance and use it to like do front kicks and everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're amazing animals. Amazing animals, and it's they bring up a good discussion when it comes to evolution, because evolutionists will say, how did the kangaroo get from the ark to Australia?
He
Okay,
hopped there.
yeah, it
He
hopped.
hopped there.
Yeah,
Duh.
it hopped all the way, which is much easier than how the monkeys got to the States. But
I was gonna say though, you guys are being really ignorant about that because they quite obviously did get to the States the same way the monkeys did. They caught the raft taxi with the monkeys that were surfing to get away from the dinosaur farts that cause global warming. There's nothing funny about that, guys.
it's such a great story. I read something today. I thought that I wouldn't mention it until that like an atheist would bring it up, or bring something like that up. So okay, I'm just gonna say it for us and our viewers. So there was okay. I will not start with the research. So we have our DNA in our nucleus of all the cells of our body. But in the nucleus, there is only 99.5%. There is a remaining 0.5% of the 100% DNA that exists within a cell that is not in the nucleus. It is inside the mitochondrium and it is outside the nucleus. And this is called mitochondrial DNA. It is not okay. It is not a strain as it is as DNA is. It is circular, and it is 16,900 letters. Those letters you can write mDNA to get the mitochondrial DNA. Remove all the rest. Just write mDNA.
That is not the M.
Yeah, I mean, you're confusing the algorithm. Okay, mtDNA. But it's okay. So the difference between the DNA and the mitochondrial DNA is that we get the DNA from our parents, both of them, but that 0.5% is not from both our parents. It's always from our mother. So there was a woman that did a study which was published in Scientific Today in the 87. And I can give you the name and you can bring it up if you want.
Please. We like to use graphics for our streams because it's fun.
So yeah, it was 1987. No, okay, no wait. Her name is Rebecca L. C-A-N-N. Rebecca L. C-A-N-N. Mitochondrial DNA and Human Evolution. It was published on Nature magazine, volume 325 on the 1st of January, 1987. And people can find it on page 31 to 36. So what she did,
Brother, real quick, help me out with how you spell that name, man. It did not.
C-A-N-N. C-A-N-N. Okay, and then type nature. We might find it immediately.
Rebecca Elkan.
Yeah, that one. Okay, here it is. Mitochondrial DNA and Human Evolution. Here it is. Okay, so please read the abstract because it's what I found out too, and I was very shocked to read this. No, I wasn't surprised though, but shocked to find it.
I
scientific.
was. Are you
Ma-
trying to say? Are you trying to say like our DNA
No. So
shows that
what
we
she
have
did.
a woman and
Now listen. We all have mitochondrial DNA, and it always comes from our mother. So what she did is take samples, blood samples from 147 people all over the globe, and looked at their mitochondrial DNA. Now, if your grandmother had some mutation in her DNA, which is like I don't know, not necessarily a bad mutation, but let's say gray eyes, because I've seen gray eyes in my life. So if your mother had that, if your grandmother had that, it still exists inside the sequence. You might not get it, but it still exists within the sequence. So what's interesting about this is that she found common things among all 170, 147 people all over the world, and it all goes back to a common mother. So she named it mitochondrial Eve. And the Bible tells us that Eve was the mother of all living. So she mated with Adam, but the mitochondrial DNA does not come from Adam. It comes only from Eve. So I don't know, man. That was for me, wow. Once more, like everywhere you look, you will find proof that the Bible has not been lying to you.
and it's hard to because I mean it's words on paper. I mean they don't change too much. I mean they do change a little bit here and there depending on the author and who wants to translate it and who wants to change it 10% so they can get the royalty or the copyright and everything like that. But I mean it really doesn't change that much.
I mean, that's the funny thing to me, though, right? Like, it's not okay to make fun of them for the things they believe in their books that change their silly ideas like every 10 years consistently. But it's okay for them to think that the ideas we hold to and that have been consistent and consistently proven correct for 2,000, 3,000 years now. I don't know, man. It's so bizarre.
And the things that they said are gonna happen are happening still. I mean, it's very strange. Hey, gangster, good to see you. Hey, brother. Tell you what. I got a little task for you. If you don't mind, if you're up for it. If you can, since you seem to know everybody, like you must be the Pope or something like that, because you know everybody. Um, just if you got anybody that wants to have a discussion via the two topics that we're talking about in the title of this stream, and if you want to message them, say, hey, we're doing a live stream and want to talk to some people. Uh, we could either talk about Christianity or we could talk about evolution, whichever one, whatever flavor of ice cream they want, we'll do.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So yeah, but I will say, let me put a little caveat on that. It's got to be somebody that wants to actually have a conversation. I'm sorry, we're not going to take the regulars, but we'll decide on who we take in there.
Until then, we will continue discussing.
Yeah, until then, we got some topics here. Because there are more important things to discuss. And by the way, I found the movie about the history of the mail system. It was a movie called You Got Mail, and it was made in 1998.
You Got Mail. That's Tom Hanks and what's her name?
Meg Ryan. It's
Meg Ryan, thank you.
You're looking for
Thank
Meg
you.
Ryan. But
And
you're thinking of
AOL.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah, and AOL, right? They were using AOL.
And I was mistaken. It's called the news of
City
the
of
world.
Angels.
No, the news of the world. The news of the world was the movie that I was talking about, which also has Tom Hanks. I guess Tom Hanks likes movies about mail.
Tom Hanks is everywhere.
You know
Even
what?
on the
Even in that
pandemic.
movie Castaway, he worked for FedEx. He does have
Yeah.
an obsession, maybe.
That seems to be a conspiracy here.
Yeah, because if you wanted to traffic something, it would be through the mail. Tom Hanks, I don't know. Okay.
Or someone. Oh man, Polar Express.
There's a
No.
distraction pretty much anywhere we look around us right now. We should pick one of those and just run down that avenue.
Well, Tom Hanks was also in the Polar Express.
Scott, you always crack me up, man. You always crack me up.
Polar Express, though, that was a good one.
Yeah, he was in the Polar Express, which was a train that picks up children. I don't know. Maybe we have uncovered something.
Oh my god! Out of all the distractions, that's the one you went for, Lupin.
I mean, out of all the rabbit holes, who saw that one coming?
I'm never trying to change the topic ever again.
Actually, I think women should stand up and create another system. They should call it a female system, because it's very sexist to say male system, you know? You got female?
Well, they already got woke in the way that they don't say mailman anymore. It's mail carrier.
It should be she-male carrier.
But speaking of, wow, this stream is getting off to a great start. We are going to need to definitely pray after this one to wash us away from all of this.
Let's just pray to not get banned. That's it. You know?
It's really interesting to me what vastly different definitions of great we have. You and I, Lupin.
Yeah, and it was funny. We were talking about the video. I don't know if I made that prediction, but I know I was definitely thinking about it. I was saying I almost guarantee you that the first comment that you're gonna get is somebody gonna say cringe, and like I don't know if I said it out loud. I was definitely thinking about it because I know how these people think.
Hey, Steven, wanna play it? Wanna play that little video? It's 1 minute. Show it off.
Is that okay with Lupin?
Yeah, I'll let my little stowaway go ahead and play.
Hey, I don't have to be here. I was actually I went out of my way to support you. I didn't know it was a duet, and now it's just awkward.
Oh, well, you are now the third wheel, and now, gosh dang it.
Oh, the third wheel. I've never been a third wheel before. How will I act? Oh no.
By the way, the only reason you don't exist on the background is that I thought that you would be on the tractor right now, and it would be like me and Lupin. So I was like, you know.
Know what? I've heard similar stories other times I was the third wheel. So
yeah.
Thank you for repeating history. Here you are, sir.
Hello. I hope this message finds you before it's too late. It's of great urgency, and it needs to get out. And what I'm going to ask you to do is very brave. There's a time coming where this message I'm about to share with you is going to be stopped from going out. The time is right around the corner. It's approaching quickly. And I need all of you who see this to promise that you will share it with as many people as you can, because time is short. I'm going to give you the encrypted message now. Please don't let it be in vain. The message is Romans 10, 9 and 10. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. Please get this message out to everyone. Thank you.
I was watching the suggestion on the left, which is 11 minutes long. Somebody commented, a very good friend commented on my channel that you may have the longest videos on the internet. So I laughed at that. And then I made a comparison. I have that video uploaded on my channel and it's 11 minutes long and it has 99 views. And I have a 2-hour long video next to it that came 2 months later and it has 100 views. So I told him, see, people like them long. I mean, there's an 11-minute video that they're not watching either. It has nothing to do with length. So
and as you said, I mean, once you watch a minute of the video, it's no longer an hour-long video.
right?
Now it's an hour and 59. It gets shorter as you watch it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how
I
that
mean,
works.
They don't get that. I mean, they don't get that. They see the thumbnail. They're like, this will remain a 2-hour long video, even if I watch 5 hours of it.
It sounds like evolution logic to me. I don't know.
Exactly what that is.
Yeah. So and they haven't even gotten an email. If you think the videos are long, wait till you get an email from my friend, because if you like to read, he's your guy. He's your man.
I only read the Bible for the past 7 years, and I'm still learning. There's so much wealth.
That's it.
I've read so much in the past, and I realized that I've been wasting my time. So now I'm trying to catch up to it.
All good, all good. And let's go ahead and do. We have gotten way off topic here. I almost forgot what
is the topic. Bring us back.
But first, I want to give a shout out to my friend Scott here, always providing pretty witty comments and jokes that actually fit with the program. So shout out to Scott and shout out to the homie Mad Mac. We are glad we are making the stream enjoyable for you. Apparently, we have no sense of humor and our shows are such a drag to other people. But for some reason, they know how they.
I don't think you can say that, can you? Drag? I don't know.
I know. I got it. I got. Thank you for clarifying.
Words hurt, Lupin.
Dude, I know, dude. I felt that deep in my soul.
You gotta be careful with the pronouns.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will forever hurt me. That's how it goes, right?
It's true. And even in the Bible, it says toward the last days, what's going to happen? Everyone will start being offended so easily. It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's like the Bible knew that these days were going to happen. So let's see. And Mad Mac, this is a question. Oh, we got some comments. We have some comment inception. Mad Mac.
Hey, Scott just said he's offended. You highlighted it, and I want to start the Me Too movement behind Scott. Me Too, am offended. Anybody else? We can get this rolling.
Remind me. I'll bring a picture.
My butt is going straight to jail because the ministry has yet to send my check in the mail. So I have no money, so I cannot collect. I do not pass go. I do not collect $200.
I didn't send it USPS. I tried to just send it Pony Express, so it takes a lot longer, as you can imagine, to get to Texas.
You should have just given it to Tom Hanks himself in person.
So in case the plane goes down, you know it's gonna be safe with him, you know?
This is true. He's also a very good pilot. But yes, so you get offended. You get offended. You get offended. I hope you got offended. Everybody gets offended.
I feel like I derailed you guys. Should I leave? Would it be better if I left?
I mean, let's talk about math here, okay? So
Stick around. We're gonna have a great time tonight.
we were doing
Somehow
the
this-
equations.
The spirit
No, we
is-
were just playing. Come back. Come, no, please, come back. No.
Steven.
Um,
Oh, shoot.
hold on. I got one more meme now that he brought that up, and let me play it. Meanwhile,
Hey,
Achilles.
memes are not playable. They're not GIFs. GIFs are playable. I'll show you. I'll bring in the aliens for you.
Wait.
Dew. There you go. So I have a video that is still exporting. It's like 19 minutes of going frame by frame on a 10-core CPU, 20 threads. I mean, and a 3080 RTX. I'm not using CPU to export, using GPU, baby. CUDA cores, baby. So, all right. Oh, I see what you're doing there. Lupin is bringing something up, and I can see that he is carrying it. So it might take a little time. Looks heavy.
Was I not sharing my screen?
No,
Wonderful.
I could see it at the backstage there.
Okay. Why don't you put my thing on screen and we'll try this again. Okay. All right. I think I actually have to do something. Okay, hold on, wait a minute.
Stop, don't come back.
Audio, it's too low.
Stop.
My television! Hey, get away from that thing!
Stop, don't come back.
Lights, camera, action!
What? What did
Where did he go? Where did
Yeah.
he go? Please stop. Don't come back.
So please, next time, never, ever say the word math when Steven is here.
It's like whenever we start reading Bible verses to atheists, it's just like he disappears. He goes away.
Yeah, but even when we read Bible verses, we skip the numbers when Steven is here. You know?
Yeah.
So-
We can't even we have to say the Trinity instead of the Trinity because it also involves numbers, so it's the Trinity.
What is this trigonometry class? You know?
So anyway, all right,
We
let's
haven't
get.
touched upon anything so far, right? We're just 48 minutes of just. I'll show you what we've been doing so far.
Stop it.
Why?
I don't too long, I think.
No, it's 20 seconds. It was okay, but I love the seriousness at the look that he gives at the end. He's like, there, I said,
Yeah.
you know.
I s- Guys, look.
So, do you
Everybody,
have a case? Are we gonna discuss something? What's going on?
What's your case? Our case is simply this.
I brought those clips for the atheist
our friends.
moments. Yeah, but they're not coming in, so I had to dedicate them to my brother Lupin here.
Guys, look, trust us. We do this so you guys don't have to. The other day, I don't want to make fun of a serious situation or anything, but I mean, I think somebody had a meltdown and had to be carried away because just talking to some of these people, like it will melt your brain to a point where you just begin to almost pass out from the monotony. It's so bad. It's so bad. Shout out to Scott. I respect Scott more and more whenever he says I hate Ace Ventura. I also agree. I'm not also the biggest fan of the
That
cable
was
guy.
not Ace Ventura, though, guys. I mean, get your facts straight, man. That was Liar Liar, and that's why it would go with the atheists. It would fit
Yeah.
right in.
No, let's see. He said he only likes Liar Liar and The Mask. We could pull some good ones from The Mask too. The Mask has some good ones. And then we're gonna have some Christians say, how can you use some clips from The Mask? Oh no. But yeah, we know it was a Liar Liar. And also Steven also touched on a good point here. It's like dinosaurs evolved into chicken. No. The atheists are evolving into chickens because they keep going bark, 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 bark. Whenever I mean,
So let me just start making a point because we have two brothers here, and there are some viewers that are not in the chat, which we are welcoming them. But let's give them some content. Guys, if you want to see in action how this is going to roll out with the aliens, there is only one movie that showed exactly what it's going to be like. It is not highlighted by media a lot, and it hasn't taken good critics either.
that's how you know it's good.
And it's the one I suggest that you have to watch in order to understand what is happening. So I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share what the movie is. It's with it's this one. It has two titles. You will find it with this title or with Alien Invasion, I think was the other title. And in order to be able to find it, you gotta use the actor, which was Jean-Claude Van Damme, but is also his daughter, the first time she appeared on a movie. Oh, Alien Uprising. Here it is. All right, Alien Uprising or UFO. So, they're trying to hide a movie when they are retitling it after its release. So, I will tell you this so you're not shocked. When it shows you aliens, when it shows you crafts, it's gonna be the worst computer-generated graphics you have ever seen in your life. The worst. You're gonna be laughing. But the atmosphere, the scenario, the situations, the dialogues, and the fight scenes are in the top 5 of the movies I've ever watched. So if you can ignore the part where it goes pew pew and it's like a little retarded, you're gonna enjoy this, and it shows exactly how it's gonna roll out. And I'm gonna give you a warning: it's ugly.
I
Pretty
have
ugly.
I don't think I've seen. So they're two movies, right?
This one.
You're gonna be very disappointed in me. I already know. I don't even know if I want to tell you that I have not seen these two movies.
This is not two movies, it's one, but it has two titles. It got retitled in 2013. So I have the trailer of it ready, and I'm gonna be posing it. So we are okay, even though it's a trailer and it's out there and it should be copyright free. YouTube has some very weird policies when it comes to live streams, and it's not writing them anywhere. So we gotta play safe, you know. So I'm gonna give it to you in a sec.
I'm ready to burn this thing to the ground.
And another
let's not do that to our brother.
another film was The Visitors V, which was 1983, I think, TV series, mini TV series, which was remade in 2011, and it's only 2 seasons. And supposedly, they didn't get funding for a 3rd season, but that's very funny because the 2nd season stops right where humanity is under mind control and they're just looking at the sky, and that's where it stops. And that's the 2nd suggestion. This one that we talked about is a film, and the other one is a mini TV series of 2 seasons. Don't watch the old one. Watch the new one.
Also, since we're on this topic and we're going to be reaching the hour mark here, we might as well just continue on if we're going to be talking about this really quick. There was also this movie that they call it. They say that it was a movie or cinematography. Honestly, this was.
Oh, come on! Yeah, that's a classic. I mean, I don't think
is-
there is any conspiracy theorist out there that hasn't seen this movie.
This is a documentary, and let me just. I'm gonna play a little bit of it.
We're in trouble. The whole world's in trouble. Control us! You're sending some kind of secrets out of TV sets.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale. Now we start spilling some blood. Let's go! But
I want to point out something about this movie that I know that not many have noticed, and I think it's one of the most important problems of today. Do you remember that he wanted to give the glasses to his best friend?
Preach.
Do you remember what happened?
The best fight scene in all of history.
He wouldn't put them on.
Yeah.
He had to beat him down in order for him to put on a pair of stupid glasses. And that's what we're going through. Nobody wants to see. You're like, just do that little thing. Just open the Bible and read that verse. And they're like, no, you're nuts. You are this crazy religious person. I mean, you gotta fight them. I'm not saying start punching them like that movie, but this is a very important characteristic that this director is showing us. That it's not easy to convince those that don't want to see.
Yeah, and there was also a movie. I'm gonna finish my talk about the movies with this one. There was also a movie. I haven't seen it. Somebody was watching it, and I kind of just walked by. But apparently, it was directed by the Obamas, or the Obamas produced it, or something like that. Forgot what it's called, but it was kind of like a mind screw, because it kind of shows you how real it could get. And the fact that the Obamas were involved in it tends to It may tend to raise a couple flags here. Should at least, I think.
So you can press play. I think we are past the copyright problem.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick,
Oh, that is good.
and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Just to play it safe. Just to play it safe.
All right. I will also follow. So we can be skimming from one to the other. So what I am gonna play is the film that I talked about. But in order to do that, I need to find it. And this is this program is very annoying. I found it.
You want me to go back to your place?
Absolutely not. I'm staying at my best friend's house tonight, so we'd have to go back to his. In a crisis like this, how long do you reckon it'll take for an ambulance to respond to a gunshot wound, huh?
Let's just give it a pause right here. Play a little bit with those buttons. What do they do? Let's see. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, I did not know. So let's go back now and continue.
When they attack, and make no mistake about it, they will attack, the human race will be essentially screwed.
Maybe they're explorers. Why do you assume they're here to fight?
Maybe the explorers will see me here.
I like it. I like it. I like your acting. You have a bright future out of you. Let's click
Probably
on
brighter than Jean-Claude Van Damme's daughter.
Let's see. Let's click on some buttons here. Okay, that's cool. That does that. Okay.
Yeah, bring it up now. Let's go full screen. Cinema layout. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back. Take your popcorn. You got 1 minute left of the film. Yeah, I know that was not that bad, but trust me, it's bad when it comes to.
Is this the Jean-Claude Van Damme one?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is he in it, or did he direct it?
I think both. He's also in it, but I think he also directed it.
Okay.
Oops, sorry for that. We didn't see much. I hope we don't see anything more because I haven't checked.
They're coming!
And you are?
So the reason I want people to watch that movie is because of its ending. No other movie gives us the truth about that. And
so this is what happened at the end of that movie. It's crazy, bro. You're not. I mean,
no, we gave no spoilers at all. Again, best fight scenes, best atmosphere, best scenario. It's very good stuff. And it should not receive like a 2.8 that it has in the ratings.
Hey man, don't we have like a Rumble channel or like a Patreon or something like that?
We do, but in order to go to Rumble, what we need to do is prepare the stream key beforehand and bring it here. And we kind of don't do that unless we have something we definitely want to play and we want to go to Rumble. Because when the streams end that we do here, then they get uploaded to Rumble. But Rumble, in order to stream live, it needs you to pick up a key from there, bring it over here, get the confirmation from there, bring it back here. And there's a lot of people out there that are saying, Rumble, until you fix that and you go like exactly like how all the other platforms are, we're not going to stream there. And that's what we're doing as well. They should fix this. Until they do, we'll be around here for now. And as long as the message can go through, as the introduction said. So what is it? Okay, I'm trying to find that button. Okay, I found it. Now let's go. Let's get a little biblical now. We have a verse, 2 Thessalonians 9. I'm gonna bring it up.
We have somebody that says that they can't support Rumble. I would be interested. I don't know. Maybe they can explain to us. And also, the movie is called. The movie has two names. You said it is called UFO.
Yes, it's called UFO. It had another name. I'm gonna share this once more. It had another. The name was originally UFO, and then they changed the name to Alien Uprising. Now I understand that naming your film UFO, it's a little dumb because people will look for it and they will get like 100 billion results. So yeah, that does make sense. But still, I have never seen this happening with other movies, like changing the title. So it is, the reason it's good is because it's not Hollywood, it's a British production. What did that happen? It's a British production, and it's called UFO or Alien Uprising. And if you want to find it easier, just put the name Jean-Claude Van Damme next to it. That's how I managed to find it, instead of writing UFO and getting like thousands of results. So I don't know where you can find it. And I don't have a Netflix. So I don't know how that works, if it has like all the movies and things like that. What was that? Yeah, it's called UFO. Yeah, exactly. That's why they changed the name to Alien Uprising. And I highly suggest you watch that. It's gonna show you how we humans will react, what is gonna happen within our civilized cities. And I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but you're not gonna expect it. You will not be expecting what you're gonna see. Definitely recommend that film. Brother Scott, I'm not sure whose computer you are referring to. My computer is smart, and it stopped upgrading itself when companies wanted to upgrade. So it is stronger than today's computers, but it is. I bought it. I built it. I don't buy computers. I built them. I built it in 2016. It was a 10-core processor, 20 threads. Now I have upgraded it with, even though it's 2016, it already has 2 NVMe drives, but they were not supported back then, but my computer uses them. and it also has an NVMe that I have on a USB-C, so I can transfer data to it. USB-C was not supported by my computer, but this computer supports it. And it also has 3000 megahertz, 64 gigabytes of very, very low latency RAM, 12, 12, 12, which good luck finding that today.
And how many RGBs does it have? That's the most important thing.
None. The thing is, the
please
thing
throw
is
that trash away. Throw it away. It doesn't have fancy lights.
I did put like a RGB. The things that I've been purchasing for it. I did add RGB. I didn't add it like specifically, but they have RGB. And the thing is that I started creating something to control them because that motherboard of 2016 didn't have a way to control RGBs. So I built my own controller from a Raspberry Pico.
Yes.
I added a very small monitor to it. I wrote the code for it. I started controlling the RGB through the software, and I put it all inside a Game Boy. So I had a Game Boy next inside the computer, which I could also detach and bring it to my desk with a cable, with a larger cable. And it wasn't only about RGB, it was about controlling the temperatures, making it automatic, and the fans going up and down. But at some point, I got extremely bored. I was like, this is almost ready. Let's do something else. And I just dropped it.
All right, okay, guys. Let me excuse my Greek friend here real quick because he has not figured out that Americans, they just don't care. You do. I mean, it sounds
that's a problem with Greeks. Don't ask things.
You will get a response. You will get a response. I'm not gonna lie though. The Game Boy being the way that you control the temperatures and possibly the RGB lights, pretty dope.
The RGB lights, how I call them, and a lot of people do too, we call it a rainbow mess because everybody installs them like everywhere and the computers become a rainbow mess. And what I was trying to do, and it's not that I didn't succeed, but because we live in the times that we do, I don't spend time on fanciness. I only spend time in utility. That's why I stopped. But what I was trying to do is that with RGB, you have the ability to get the CPU water block to turn red when the CPU is very high temperature-wise. And that's something that nobody utilizes with their RGB. They always have it on the rainbow and flashiness, and that's not what I saw in it.
Yeah, so what he's saying is his computer gets really freaking hot sometimes, and he has a water cooling system that cools it
because
down.
I have a water cooling system, it never gets any hot. Like my computer, which just actually finished encoding, my CPU is at 32 or 34 degrees maximum.
And he also has a really bad habit of interrupting me. But it's okay. It's okay.
Let me say something to Scott. Yes, Scott, if you are editing videos, it's best to build a desktop. But today, the way things have evolved, and that's the reason why I'm with an older PC, is that they ask for a lot of money. And it doesn't provide what you pay for. So it is going to cost you, and then you're going to be forced to use Windows 11 because they have added things like we do not support CPUs that are before this time. And if you go to a CPU that is cheaper, so you cannot have like Windows, the latest Windows. And the whole thing forces you to be completely like, if you're buying something today, it has to be like the latest, and the latest is not always the greatest, and it's very expensive.
Okay, all right, and now Achilles, just please pay attention.
No.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
That was another Tom Hanks film.
I,
What is going
I,
on today?
I was just about to say we're renaming this to the Tom Hanks episode. Okay. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take control of this ship that has gone into uncharted waters here.
Mutiny, mutiny.
Yeah, I'll let him get into the. There were a lot of people on that list. I'll let you get it. I can't interrupt scripture, so you pulled a trump card on me, best president. But you pulled a trump card on me, and so please just go ahead, and then I'll take over the ship.
We have a warning from Paul in 2 Thessalonians, and there is a slight issue here with the translations. So I'm gonna read it from the King James for now, and then go
Stump
to
would be proud.
NASB. What up?
Stump would be proud.
Stump would be proud of me. Where is he? We are turning this into a Bible study. He has a Bible study later on. I hope we kick it off for him and he goes into the subject. So we are being warned that when the Antichrist arrives, he will come with signs and lying wonders, is the translation that the King James Bible says. But there's a lot of people that say that this is a verse that reveals the great deception, or great illusion, I think people call it. Other Bibles say, and in wonders of falsehood. So by reading this, what you understand, and the NASB says, and false signs and wonders. So by reading this, what you understand is that he will be doing like miracles. All right. So, all right. Okay. I bet, it's his job is to do like fake stuff and do miracles. But that's not exactly what it says. And it matters because that's what reveals what people see for being the great deception. So we have found a great tool that was suggested to us by the translator of the Dead Sea Scrolls that we interviewed the other day. And if you haven't watched that, it's a very, very interesting episode. And his name, I don't remember his last name, though. I'm sorry for being so Greek. I remember his...
I got a phone call. I'll be right back, though.
Right. So... Tim, because I remember his last name, suggested we use this interlinear scripture analyzer, and I brought it up for the team, and I gotta unshare this and go full screen, baby. So let me fill it up. So here it says, of whom being the presence in operation of Satan with all power and signs and miracles. But now this is interesting because the word used here is terrasin, and terrasin actually means monster. There are some ways that it's being used as a miracle, like something that is a very big miracle. But here we have the word falsehood following it. So the text is actually saying, I'll bring up something else too. Before I bring this up, I'm gonna give you, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. You only have a couple hundred tabs open. Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, as long as I'm sure that this is what I wanted to bring up. Right. Yes, maybe it is. So I'm gonna zoom in, and it says here, it shows this word, and I know as a Greek that this is the word for monster. It is also the word that something that we use in Greek, the word gigantic, is coming from, because it is terastios, and it comes from the word teras. So when we say that something is huge, it is very big, we call it terastio. So if you can see here, and if you can find it, it says, like, in a concrete sense, monster, beast. So that is the word being used. So if this word gets added to the word lie next to it, then we are not talking about miracles. We are talking about one, oh, come on, man, let me highlight it. One monstrous lie. Sorry. A monstrous lie, a monstrous deception, a monstrous illusion. So if you Google the Great Deception, Bible, the Great Deception, it's going to point you to this verse. But if you read the verse, you don't get anything about the Great Deception. What you get is signs and miracles of falsehood. But the words themselves reveal that there is a monstrous deception that is going to come with the Antichrist. So this makes perfect sense that the deception will come, because there will be a rapture. And Satan is not an unbeliever. Satan is not an atheist. Satan is the only one that knows that God exists. I mean, there are believers that know that God exists, but Satan knows. He knows it. He knows he exists.
He knows him. I think he knows him personally.
Yeah, totally. And we know from the story of Job that they talk to each other, like, personally. He knows he's real. It has nothing to do with believing in him. So he knows there will be a rapture. By the way, I wanna give people the link to this tool. It's a great tool. It's called Interlinear Scripture Analyzer, and I'm not sure where to find it right now. This needs to reload. Let me check the tabs. Let me check here. Transmissions. Ooh, what's this? Oh, that was a tab. Okay. So I don't seem to have it open. Oh, can I just mouse over them? Yeah, I can mouse over them. Let's just, okay, I found it. So I'm gonna give you the link because, guys, this is a very important tool. It's both Old Testament and New Testament. It gives you the Hebrew, it gives you the Greek. It is an alternative because people like Blue Letter Bible a lot, and I've found some stuff in the Blue Letter that I'm not so crazy about. And then there is the, what is it called? I have it right here. The one that is an application, sword, something with a sword. I don't remember it. But that has a problem that you only get the King James, and if you want other versions, you gotta pay for them. I'm like, all right, no, I'm not paying for the Word of God. So let me come back here because I'm getting a little bit lost. Let me come back here and give you the link.
While you're doing that, I swear, guys, we're eventually gonna get into the topic at hand. Eventually. Is that you who's posting the comment using everybody's thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
just making sure. Just making sure it wasn't Stump wasn't here, because if Stump wants to join, he can join. That's
By the way, dude. Oh no. We are actually calling people to come in, and we haven't shared the link.
No, it's okay. They can make a comment first so we know that they're even here. And then once they comment, we'll share the link with them.
I trusted you for being a captain, and you just threw us on a rock.
No, I did this on purpose. Okay.
Oh, so you don't want me to paste it in the chat?
I mean, you can now. We're already like an hour and a half in, so we've given them more than enough time to come and talk with us.
So, okay, as we are about to switch the subject, I'm gonna pass the steering wheel to you. Before I do, I want to take people to Revelation 12 because, as I said, Satan knows God, and he knows that his word is gonna happen. So he's waiting for the rapture. And when the rapture happens, the next thing that would happen immediately is that people would immediately remember their Bible. Even if they are not believers, they will say, wait a minute, there is only one book that ever told me that there would be something like a rapture. Maybe I should open that book and read it. And that's what Satan doesn't want. So what he is going to do is he's going to create a deception. He has it ready to replace that. And they will be on our TV telling us, don't open your Bible. It's aliens. They are here already. We are in contact. And they are asking us to do a couple of things. So by their arrival, they discredit the Bible immediately. Because according to the Bible, we are the center of creation. So if they come from somewhere else, that fails. Eve was the mother of all living, which we also saw that it gets proven scientifically. But if they came from another galaxy, I'm not sure Eve went to another galaxy. So that's a second way to discredit the Bible. And God is also telling us that there is habitation, there are limits to our habitation. So if they come from outside those limits, again, this discredits the Bible, and it also verifies the whole theory of the Big Bang and the whole narrative that goes around that there are hundreds of millions of galaxies with billions of solar systems within them, so there must be life out there according to Drake's equation. Drake's equation has proven with assumptions, because it says if this and if that and if that and if that, then there is a million civilizations only within the Milky Way. It is an equation, but it's built on assumptions. Still, this is why this makes perfect sense. So if we go to Revelation 12, which talks about the rapture, we are going to see I'm not gonna get into the sign because we've gone into this in previous streams, and we believe, I don't want to say we, astronomers of the world got shocked with what happened in our skies, and it belongs back to 2017. So if we go to the chapter and you read it from the beginning, please do.
And we will get to your comments here shortly too, by the way. Go ahead.
Right after the rapture, there is going to be a war on heaven. And I'm trying to get it from the beginning. Here, 12:7. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels together, but they did not prevail, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. So what does that mean? What is going to happen if he was no longer him and his angels in heaven? The Bible is telling us what is going to happen. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast down into the earth. The word is not into, King James. I mean, he's not cast down inside the core of the earth, because people will take that, oh, he was cast in hell. No, oh no, it's not yet. So they
that
were
happens
thrown,
a little bit later.
exactly, right? How dare you attack the King James? So and he was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down to the earth with him. And as we proceed, we read, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, no, I will read the New American, I'm sorry. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, now the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Christ have come, for the accuser of our brothers and sisters has been thrown down, the one who accuses them before our God day and night. So far, whatever you've been doing, Satan is up there and goes to God and says, hey, did you look at your child over there, the one that you are so proud of? But now that time stops. The accuser of our brothers and sisters has now been thrown down. What does it mean down, though? We go to 11. 11 speaks about the brothers and sisters and says, and they overcame him because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of their testimony, and they did not love their life, even when faced with death. And we go to 12. And the angels say, therefore rejoice, ye heavens. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. For the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time. I was reading the New King James. I'm sorry, God. And then he will persecute the church. The male child, you need to read the chapter from the beginning to get that fully. And what I'm looking for, okay, I'm using the wrong tool for this because I should go here. What? Wrong. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't even know what this is.
Are you hungry? Because I think your mic was picking up your stomach growling.
That's my mouse. Is it that sound?
No, it definitely sounded like a stomach growling. Just saying. Okay, continue.
That can't be. Although I could eat. So I just want to go to Bible Gateway. Not Getaway, I'm sorry, Gateway. And go to the NASB.
While you're doing that, can I go over some comments? I've had this one hanging around.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes, please.
So the Bible uses the word image of the beast. The only image I know that the beast on all of us is the globe image.
Yeah,
Okay.
I read that. It was Mad Mac, right?
Yep, that one was from Mad Mac. Let's see. I'll continue. The word of God has already been paid for.
Amen.
Amen.
This was a comment for the Bible tool, which is called, I think, the sword. That's how it's called. And yeah, why make me pay for different versions of the Word of God.
Oh, okay.
Jesus
So
said,
that's where the reference. Okay, all right. I was having a little bit of trouble. Now, in context, it all makes sense. Okay.
so I'm here now. And right after the sign at the beginning, we get a great dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, which is the beast on Revelation 13, because it's exactly the same. 7 heads, 10 horns, and on his head 7 crowns. So that's why we know that that is the beast. And it says that his tail swept away a third of the stars of heaven and held them to the earth. So whatever is happening, it's gonna, we know that, as we know from the verse even here, there are angels that are with Satan. And we know that these angels are 1/3 of the angels. And here this verse tells us that 1/3 of the stars is gonna fall on the earth. Now, Mad Mac has the same theory with me, and the stars are not what we think they are. They are not what they're telling us they are, because no matter how big your telescope is, you can never zoom in on a star and see it as we see the sun. Not even a tiny planetary thing. Like you see a dot with your naked eye, you take a telescope, it's still a dot. You take a bigger telescope, it's still a dot. You take the biggest telescope on the earth, and it's still a dot.
Which is called Lucifer. I think that might be the biggest telescope that we have
No, it's not the
on the Earth.
biggest.
But
Okay. Yeah, they have a telescope called Lucifer, and that's completely mind-blowing. It should be mind-blowing to those that think that we're dealing with scientists, because that's the Vatican that owns that telescope, and we've discussed about this again. Now,
courtesy of our friends at the Vatican.
According to the cosmology theory that we know, if 1/3 of the stars fall on the Earth, there will be no more Earth. If one star falls on the Earth, there will be no more Earth. 1/3 of the stars is a pretty big number. We now know about 11 quadrillion stars. So something else is going to fall on the Earth. So what I think I see here is fallen angels. The 1/3 that rebelled with Satan, they already started the war in heaven. They will lose it, and they will fall, and they will be all ours. And they will not come to you with wings or with horns. They will come and say we're aliens, and we are around you because your Bible is lying to you. So, lads and gents, I'm gonna give it a pause here.
Thank you. Thank
allow
you.
my brother to.
I mean, where do we go on from that? Okay, but yeah. So let's go ahead and just answer a couple more questions. This one's directed towards you, Achilleas, from your favorite person in the world. Look at that. Look at that. Aliens have never visited the Earth.
I've told.
Can I finish the comment?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The aliens have never visited Earth. How do you know that? Okay, first off, do you know that for sure? Do you realize how difficult it would be to travel at the speed of light? A space rock would destroy your craft.
So my response to Big Bad Mama, our creationist crybaby, is, drum roll, I 100% agree with you. It's not possible. And it's not only the speed of light, because if they travel with the speed of light and they are 1 million light years away, that means it will take them 1 million years to get here. So the speed that they should have to come here from where they will say they will come from must be a multitude of the speed of light. Speed of light is nothing for the distances that we are talking about. Now, if they say that we came from behind Mars and you couldn't see us all this time, that's another story. But they're going to say that we come from the closest galaxy. Now, look how far is the closest galaxy. And it's an easy calculation with the speed of light. The speed of light takes a year to make it to 1 light year. And they're not coming from 1 light year. Even if they're coming from 1 light year, they started their journey within the speed of light a year ago, and they did not meet any space. They did not meet any space rocks for a whole year that they're traveling. So the whole thing is gonna have like to do with that, or some gate that they opened the gate and they arrived, because he's right. It does that space travel at that speed just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, tell that to Elon Musk. Look, let me give you the real answer, okay?
Here she comes to wreck the day.
Good Lord. Okay, alrighty then. Let us continue. I think that was more than sufficient. I'm sorry to mention food. We'll answer one more question from.
Here she comes to wreck the day.
The stars aren't like the sun? Question mark. Where's your evidence of that?
The evidence that are like the sun do not exist. All I'm saying is that what we know and what we have evidence for is that the bigger your telescope doesn't change the size of the stars. They remain the same size. So that is evidence. We can replicate that. We can see it happening. What we cannot see happening is to zoom in on them. So what you hear that they have using the Space Webb telescope, and they are getting, we now know, like there are so many super Earths and planets around the stars. The method that they are getting that is because the brightness of the star dims for a very small period, and it is a periodical period of time. So it happens again and again, at least they're saying it is. So we are assuming that there is a planet going around it, and when it is between us and the star, the brightness goes down. But it's an assumption. We do not see it. I mean, people need to understand the difference between being so sure about something without the evidence. It's called an assumption. If you have the evidence, then you know it's true. What we know is true is that no matter how big a telescope we have, we can never zoom in on a star. They're always dots.
And I mean, do these people realize like their questions begin with assumptions? First off, let me just bring this one back up. Aliens have never visited Earth. How do you know that? According to your theory of evolution, my friend, we're here because of aliens that crashed from a meteor that carried ice and microbial life forms that by some process, poof, here we are now. By your theory, we're here because of aliens.
And you know what? Their theory, because it lacks the getting from something non-living to a living organism, they don't have that connection. They do bring aliens in.
Oops. Hold on, wait. Let me get rid of. Let me get. Why is it not letting me get rid of this comment?
What? I'm not. I'm trying to find something. I actually found it, but I want to play something else first. Now, because I actually agreed with him, right? It's not that I disagree. At the same time, though, he made a video, and it's about me personally. So I have a response with another video, which starts. Give me a second, though. Let me make sure. Starts with that response, but then it's gonna get into evolution and more interesting things. And it also mentions that they bring in the aliens because they have no other choice. So it is an interesting watch, but I'm a little bit lost there. Give me a second.
Okay, well, let me just say this: the comment that Eddie, do not click on, don't do that for 10 viewers, blah blah blah. I think that's for us. Like, oh, it's on Twitch, that's why I can't remove it. Okay, never mind.
What was he saying? What was he saying?
It's a spam bot. It's don't click on the link, and yeah,
Okay.
I don't even know if people on YouTube can even see it, but it's on stream. If you're watching from Twitch, which I don't think anybody is, don't click on that, and don't put those codes in wherever people ask for it. I'm trusting that you guys are smart, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up just in case you're not aware. By the way, Mad Mac says he totally agrees.
People are like, oh, that's a side.
Yeah. Gotcha. Mad Mac, you're gonna love this one. Go
Totally
ahead,
agrees. Also, totally agree with the alien deception is coming in the fallen angel in the falling angels and all of that. Okay, and all this stuff requires gravity. Gravity is not even scientific because it does not fit the scientific method. Let's see.
It has never been proven in lab. We got in order to call something a theory, a reality, it has to get over the theory part, and we need to replicate it in a lab. And there is no way to replicate gravity. We've tried, but anyway, that's another discussion for now.
Yep, we're not going to get too into that one.
Yeah, since we got creationist crybaby in our team, let me dedicate this one to him. And what you're gonna hear at the intro, it's the rest of the video is not about that intro, but this tiny little minute of an intro is a good response to the video he made about me. So I found this to be the perfect video to play.
And before you play it, let me just say this one last thing. Yeah. Clearly, this is Mad Mac's response to our favorite creationist crybaby. Clearly, this person hasn't looked at a star, because if they did, they would see a vibrating, pulsing lights, nothing like the one and only sun. So,
yeah,
creationist crybaby making fans everywhere he goes, making
and
fans.
Not even close. Like we don't even. I would accept if we could like bring it just tiny closer, like make it look like a ball. You know, just slightly. No matter how much you zoom, it will always remain a star. And there's an answer for that. It's so far away. All right. Okay. But you don't have a ruler to see how far away it is. So that's a funny coincidence that the only star that we can see is the sun, and every other bloody star is so far away. So now let's enjoy this. Pew, pew, pew. I didn't play that. My brother did. I loved it. I was trying to make this GIF at the other one that I have next after it, but once you put them in the editing program, then they don't come out transparent, and it took me a lot of playing around to try to make it transparent, but it didn't work. But it's okay.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
I wanted to move it to the left side and to the city a little bit. And I can't, because once you process the GIF, it loses that transparency, and then my program doesn't give it, and it was complicated, so I just dropped it. So yeah, or the one next to it. Anyway, don't click another one. Let's watch this.
Let's watch.
The
Pause,
Messiah
pause.
started with Moses.
Okay.
So this is a response to Creationist Crybaby?
Not the whole thing, just the beginning, the first like minute, even less. Then it's gonna start playing something on the monitor, and this is our response to their lies. So you'll enjoy it too, brother.
People are like, oh, that's a psyop. If it's a psyop, it started with Moses, not the CIA. Genesis chapter 1. I even go even further back, go back to Job. Many people believe Job predates Genesis. Job had the same idea. Read Job 38. Okay, modern cosmology. Now, one of the things I hear all the time, is, Rob, you're making Christians look stupid. Okay, I'm going to address that tomorrow in quite a bit of detail, this whole idea that I'm making Christians look stupid. Let's look at what the other side believes.
What would you say to some of the parents who are like, look, you know, we're going to go ahead, we'll learn about evolution, but we also believe in creationism. What is the harm in learning the Bible's creation story?
Well, learning the story is fine. I mean, that's great, but it's not science. And tax dollars used for science education shouldn't be used to teach creationism as an alternative. Creationism is not right.
The notion of creationism, or in fact, look, Senator Marco Rubio, who's presumably a reasonably intelligent man, was asked, what's the age of the earth? And ultimately, either because he actually believed it or he was trying to appeal to some constituency, had to argue that it's a big mystery, that somehow we should teach kids both ideas that the earth is 6,000 years old and that it's 4.55 billion years old, which is what it is. If you think about that, somehow saying that, well, anything goes, we shouldn't offend religious beliefs by requiring kids to know, to understand reality. That's child abuse.
It sounds very laudable to teach the controversy, to teach both theories, but there aren't two theories. There's only one theory around. There's only one game in town as far as serious science is concerned. And of course, you get negative reactions from creationists, but who cares about creationists? They don't know anything.
How many of you have heard that, according to the theory of evolution, we share about 98% of our genetic makeup with chimpanzees? Have you heard that in school? Have you ever heard how they came to that number? 98%? We've all just heard it, right? We share 98% of our genome with chimps. Okay, the video I'm about to show you is not from a Kent Hovind or a creationist. It's from somebody who believes in evolution, somebody who believes we came from chimpanzees, but actually acknowledging how we got the 98%. Check this out.
When researchers sat down to compare the chimp and human genomes, those single-letter differences were easy to tally, but the big mismatch sections weren't. For example, if a genetic paragraph, thousands of letters long, appears twice in a human scroll, but only once in its chimp counterpart, should that second human copy count as thousands of changes, or just one? And what about identical paragraphs that appear in both genomes, but in different places, or in reverse order, or broken up into pieces? Rather than monkey around with these difficult questions, the researchers simply excluded all the large mismatch sections, a whopping 1.3 billion letters in all, and performed a letter-by-letter comparison on the remaining 2.4 billion, which turned out to be 98.77% identical. So, yes, we share 99% of our DNA with chimps if we ignore 18% of their genome and 25% of ours.
But that's what passes for science. Does that sound completely absurd to you? Oh yeah, we just, 4 billion letters, let's throw those out. Hey, we're 98% the same. What? That's insane. But that's in college level science books being passed off as fact.
This is not science. All right, this is the natural result of the depravity that comes from ignoring the Word of God, and it's the byproduct of hating God.
You have written that God is a psychotic delinquent invented by mad, deluded people.
No, I didn't say quite that. I said something rather better than that.
Oh, well, please tell us what you said. Please tell us what you said.
Well, I would have to read it from the book.
No, please.
The God of the Old Testament is arguably the most unpleasant character in all fiction. Jealous and proud of it, a petty, unjust, unforgiving control freak, a vindictive, bloodthirsty ethnic cleanser, a misogynistic, homophobic, racist, infanticidal, genocidal, filicidal, pestilential, megalomaniacal, sadomasochistic, capriciously malevolent bully.
So that's what you think of God?
Yeah.
He's like primary atheist of the world. And so if you're going to talk about science and religion, you need people like that to find out where are they thinking, where are they taking us, what's it all about. But we couldn't just feature Richard Dawkins. We need some other views here. And so we combed the landscape. And we found a Jesuit priest. This is the academic order of the Catholic Church. And we have with us Father Martin. Welcome to Star Talk.
Thank you very much.
All right. You, as a modern Catholic, have no problem with evolution.
Correct.
Correct. I can't say the same about other theologians who walk this earth. So what does that mean?
It means that
in the world, in politics, in all of this.
Sure. Well, it means that different Christians have different viewpoints on that. I'm a firm believer in evolution. There are some people who don't believe it. I'm not sure how you can't be convinced if you see the kind of archaeology and the sort of the kind of history of the world. But there they are. So I can't account for ignorance.
Okay, so not to put words in your mouth,
Sure.
but what you might be saying here in this conversation is that for religion to go forward and not be in conflict with science, it needs to embrace what science finds about the natural world and not jump in the face of the scientists and say, that conflicts with my interpretation of Scripture, therefore you must be wrong.
No, I agree. And I think most religious scientists, I'm not a religious scientist, would say that and would say, you know, this
Yes,
is
they
helping,
would, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
This is helping me
The ones I know.
understand. Yeah, this is helping me understand God's beautiful world. And I think what happens sometimes is, you know, religion gets caricatured. So obviously, if you're religious, you must not believe in evolution, which I think is false.
Well, it's certainly true for some. You're saying
For
it's not
some.
true for all.
I'd say for a few.
When we come back, we're going to find out if you have to give up your religion to believe in evolution. Clearly, the good father here doesn't. But how about others? When Star Talk continues. So one of the great questions out there is how do we get more religions or more people who are religious on board with the moving frontier of science? Recognizing that you don't have to give up your religion unless perhaps your religion requires that there was no evolution. If it requires it, maybe you got to sort of lose it. But
that's probably pretty few religions, right?
I would
That's
think so.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, right? I mean,
Well, I hope so. I don't understand people who can't believe in evolution. I don't understand people who don't look at, the sort of carbon dating and things like that in fossils. I can't understand it. And I have a hard time understanding why people cannot accept the fact that God can work through evolution, that it's just as much of a miracle of creation if it takes 10 million years or 15 million years as if it took 7 days. So I don't understand that. We shouldn't say religious people think this or religious people think that, because it is a label that is applied to people and often applied to make them seem uneducated, insane, or just idiots. And as if you have to check your brain at the door.
Consider again that pale blue dot we've been talking about. Imagine that you take a good long look at it. Imagine you're staring at the dot for any length of time. And then try to convince yourself that God created the whole universe for one of the 10 million or so species of life that inhabit that speck of dust. Man, in his arrogance, thinks himself a great work, worthy of the interposition of a deity. Darwin wrote telegraphically in his notebook. More humble, and I think truer, to consider him created from animals. Close quote. We're Johnny-come-latelys. We live in the cosmic boondocks. We emerged from microbes and muck. Apes are our cousins.
You don't believe that the Earth is round only if you're an astronaut. You don't believe Napoleon existed only if you're a historian. You believe these things because they're facts, proved by evidence. Evolution is also a demonstrated fact. The truth really is out there. It's not a matter of opinion.
So you believe it's liberating to tell people that there is no God?
I think a lot of people, when they give up God, feel a great sense of release and freedom.
Well, then who did create the heavens and the earth?
Why do you use the word who? You see, you immediately beg the question by using the word who.
Well, then how did it get created?
Well, by a very slow process.
Well, how did it start?
Nobody knows how it started. We know the kind of event that it must have been. We know the sort of event that must have happened for the origin of life.
What was that?
It was the origin of the first self-replicating molecule.
Right, and how did that happen?
I told you we don't know.
So you have no idea how it started?
No, nor has anybody.
Nor has anyone else.
I'm a synthetic organic chemist. Origin of life is purely synthetic organic chemistry. There's no way around it. I'm perfectly situated to be commenting on this, to be critiquing the origin of life research. It is abiological. It is before biology takes over. This is purely synthetic organic chemistry. And making these compounds is very simple. 4 classes of compounds. You have to make them from what's available on a presumed prebiotic earth. And so the chemistry is not hard for a synthetic organic chemist to follow, and any trained synthetic organic chemist can follow me on this. And I've never seen a synthetic organic chemist disagree with me on this. In fact, the people that might disagree with me are biologists because they've never made anything. The only thing they may have made is they buy a kit and they make it, which is made by chemists, but they've never made anything ab initio. And so it's the synthetic chemist that can critique origin of life research better than anyone else. So go ahead, ask your synthetic chemist friends to listen to what I have to say. If they have anywhere a master's degree or beyond in synthetic organic chemistry, have them critique what I say. We do not know how to build even a simple bacterium. The simplest bacterium with its 256 protein coding genes, we have no idea how to build it. First of all, we don't know how to build the molecules, the 4 classes of molecules that are needed for it. We don't know how to, even if we had those 4 classes of molecules, assemble them even into the simplest of bacteriums. We don't know how to do that. One can do that with the technologies we have today. We can make technologies, but we can't even make the simplest bacterium. Anybody who would say something contrary does not know what they are talking about. Show me the demonstration. Nobody has ever done it. And it's not because of lack of effort. It's not because of lack of will. First of all, they haven't been able to get the molecules to do this. And if they could make the molecules, even if we were to give them the molecules, they wouldn't have the information. There would be no inherent information in the DNA. But even if we gave them the DNA in the structure that they wanted, they wouldn't know how to put all the components together because of the sophistication within a cell. The interactomes, meaning that the interacting connectivity between the molecules, the van der Waals interactions, all of these have to be in the right place and in the right order for a cell to function. We don't even know how to define life, let alone knowing how to spark it to begin.
I'm pausing it here, just so you know, can have a chat.
I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Yes.
I mean,
yeah, I like. I've wanted to interrupt it many times with this. I mean.
Are you sure about that?
I found this as a GIF only. It didn't have audio. It's the first time I hear it with audio.
Because man, actually, you know, it's very if you want to, I'm gonna recommend that we either cut this part out.
Which part?
of the stream, like not cut it out of the stream, but we isolate this part and
I have it
upload
downloaded.
it.
I gave the link in the comments, and we can upload it on our channel as it is from Rob Skiba.
You weren't the one. You weren't the one that edited it, right?
No.
Okay,
The man
that man's
passed
a genius.
in 2023. Now his wife is continuing, and we love her. The community loves her. And I'm not going to say her name, but Mad Mac probably knows her, and he admitted to know Rob. He's a brother in truth, although, yeah, I actually think he has arrived to Jesus. He had done some research on Judaism and Christianity, and that was a long time ago. I do think he was a Christian. Yes, and even at the beginning, like he showed the biblical cosmology, and he was saying that if the FE and the shape thing is a psyop, then it started by Moses, and even further back from Job. It was no CIA behind it. So call those conspiracies, like the overlords that are creating this conspiracy theory.
Phoebe versus Ross. Which Ross is this? Hugh Ross? Scott? We may get, and is it a long video? We may get into it. We're already running. This is a short episode for us, by the way.
Whenever you're ready to continue this, I gotta go to. Can you see if you can play the video? I think you can, right? Okay. You should.
When one looks at a typical text.
All right. So now it's getting into the textbooks. It's gonna get into some alien stuff. I mean, I loved this edit, man. I mean, great job. And it's from someone who doesn't believe in the globe. He's someone that opened people's eyes about it, but still, he's not mentioning it here. It's all about the whole lie that the other side believes in, and then calling you, if you have like some weird cosmology, they're calling you crazy. And you're like, okay, let's examine your side first. I might think we're on a triangle, all right? But you cannot call it crazier than coming from a monkey. That's the thing.
I mean, and these are the scientific juggernauts that we're dealing with. Did anyone else just get like kind of like an unnerving feeling whenever Dawkins was speaking? Like, I don't know, it just sounds kind of evil.
The guy is a God hater, man. I mean, it looks like he's working only to disprove the existence of God. And as pointed out by Scott in the comments, when he was asked, like, how did the first molecule appear,
we don't
it
know.
was obvious that he was thinking of the answer, God, but he didn't want to say it. Like, we don't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me that so many people want to put their beliefs and their entire belief system and their entire way of thinking in the hands. It's kind of sad and crazy, but they want to put their entire belief system in these people, and they don't. They're stupid. I'm sorry to say. I mean, look, they may be intelligent, but they're stupid. I don't know how to really. I don't know how to put that in like a very eloquent term.
No, funny that you mentioned that, because we have verses on Romans, the book of Romans. I think it's 1, and it starts at verse 10, that it speaks of the reprobate mind. But also the one we just mentioned from the second book of Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 9, that talks about the monstrous lie. It continues to verse 10, And it says, and I'm going to read because I cannot share it. If I share it, we're going to lose where the video is. I'm going to have to skim to find it, if so. So it says that monstrous lie will come with all the deception of wickedness, or the King James Bible says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And the NASB says, because they did not accept the love of the truth, so as to be saved. Okay, it was the same. So what matters here is that the deception that is coming, and it continues. I'm sorry, I clicked on 11, and here is exactly the word, powerful delusion. It says, because of that reason, because, I'm going to read 10 again, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Therefore, and I will quote Dr. Hovitt on this, whenever you read the therefore in the Bible, you got to go back a verse and see what it's there for. So it says, therefore, or other translations say, for this reason, God will send them a powerful delusion so that they believe the lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So the great deception that is coming is for those that are walking in it already. And we just saw an example.
Man, powerful words.
Sorry.
It's a no, perfect. You said you need to go. You need to go and do something.
Get something to eat, and if you want to say something instead of playing, I would prefer that, because I want to watch too, so we are on the same page when I return. Unless you don't have something in your mind, so go ahead and play.
Oh man, it's let me see if I could pick something out of there. Go though, go. So you're not wasting. So I'm not wasting my time. So hello out there in the chat. Scott in with another banger. You know, isn't it too late to eat in Greece? I know, man. You shouldn't be eating Greece that late. Let's see here. Also, Scott wanted me to check out this video. Oh, the Phoebe argument is on subject. I forget, Scott, you may not be able to post links, so I can't see them. The Phoebe argument is something. I'm trying to look, but I don't see. You know what? Can we do something here? Let me see if I can do it. Scott has been a member of ours for quite a while, and I don't have that I don't have the ability to do that. I was going to give you an honorary wrench just because I trust you.
I'll go ahead and do it. He deserves it. Brother Scott, a wrench is coming on your way.
So you, my friend, get a wrench. So congratulations. You have been promoted.
I gave one to Mad Mac the other day, and this one is from Lupin. I also thought about Scott today, giving it to him, but you're the one that called it out. So it's from Lupin, brother.
And it's well-deserved. Well-deserved.
Amen. Sorry, eating.
He's already requesting an upgrade for power tools. Get rid of the wrench. Get rid of the wrench. Take it away.
Don't abuse the power. With great power comes great responsibility, Scott.
Yes. Okay. So, shall we continue the video now?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I
go
want
ahead.
I want to see the rest of it.
Book.
All right.
One will see some prehistoric pond and molecules, and those molecules coming together and forming a cell, and those cells coming together and some slithering creature coming out of this pond. That is fallacious. There is no truth in that. We don't even know how to make the molecules. We are lost on how to do this. We can't even make the basic building blocks. But even if we could, from prebiotic type environment to make these, with all the intellect that we put into this, even if we could make them, we have no idea how to assemble them. You say, well, we can make the liposome, the cell membrane. We cannot. There's over 40,000 lipids have been identified in cell membranes. You want to take some simple ones? It's not just individual lipid membranes. You have to have the inside and the outside of the membrane have to be different. You have to have this huge array of proteins, that transmembrane proteins, and you have to have carbohydrates on the surface as identifiers. Even in the simplest bacterium, we have no idea how to put the structure together. It's not there. So not only do we not know how to make the basic components, we do not know how to build the structure even if we were given the basic components. So the Gedanken experiment is this: even if I gave you all the components, even if I gave you all the amino acids, all the protein structures from those amino acids that you wanted, all the lipids in the purity that you wanted, the DNA, the RNA, even in the sequence that you wanted. So I'm even giving you the code. And so now I say, and all the nucleic acids. Can you now assemble a cell here in your individual bodies, not in your individual laboratories, not in a prebiotic cesspool, but in your nice laboratory? And the answer is a resounding no. And if anybody claims otherwise, they do not know this area. This is how far the misunderstanding has gone. Even science professors, even biology professors, think that there is a near building of life, that we understand all the ways to build life. We do not. Not only have none of the molecules been made ab initio under prebiotic-like conditions to make the homochiral molecules that are made. Remember, we need 4 classes of molecules. We need the nucleic acids, and then the homochiral systems that for the amino acids, which then need to be built up into protein structures. We need the carbohydrates, which have to be built up into the polycarbohydrate structures. And then we need the lipids, which also are chiral. All of these we need in homochiral form. We don't know how to do this in any prebiotic type scenario at all. These have not been made. And then to assemble these into a cell, it's never been done. So there's a gross misunderstanding. And this misunderstanding has come because of the projections of those who work in the area of origin of life. They do one little thing and then they extrapolate it, and then they work with the press to ramp it up even more, and they project as if they really know it. And so the lay person reads this and says, you see, scientists understand. And then it's not just the lay person. Scientists think that other scientists understand all of this, but they do not. So this is a cell. What is the origin of life? How do you get a cell like this? What is the origin of something like this? This is an amazing machine. A cell is an amazing machine. It's not just a blob of protoplasm. Every day it gets harder to have the origin of life. to come up with a scenario because the origin of life becomes more and more complex every day. A cell is a factory. It has the lipid bilayer, which is extremely selective to let certain things in and not other things. It has all of this substructure in here, these little areas where energy is made in here. It has these microtubules which can form so you can move matter from point A to point B. If you go to a factory, what you see is you see these overhead hanging machines that are moving materials from point A to point B. In these systems, and the way they do this is they build these racks, but same thing happens in a cell. You get these microtubules to move material from point A to point B, and then as soon as the material is done moving, the microtubule breaks down and then assembles some other place. You say, well, why doesn't it leave it there? Because then the cell would become too rigid. So it just rebuilds it. It's just amazing factory what's happening in a cell. This is what we have to make. If we want to have origin of life, you got to start here. You don't start here. You start with a single cell. Just build a single cell. That's what we have to do in origin of life. Nobody has ever done this. If you've been taught that simple forms of life have been made, that is a lie that you are believing. Somebody told you a lie. That has never been done. Next slide. Organisms care about life. Molecules don't care. Chemistry, on the contrary, is utterly indifferent to life. Without a biologically derived entity acting upon them, molecules have never been shown to evolve toward life. Never. Molecules don't care about life. They don't know anything about moving toward life. They have no brain. Organisms want to move toward life and keep life going. Molecules don't care about life. Nobody has ever seen molecules assemble toward life. Never. It doesn't happen without a biological entity working on them. I asked all my colleagues, can you show me an example of this? Of molecules moving toward order, moving toward an ordered system where you have a non-regular assembly. Regular assembly is like A, or A, B. That you can get pure thermodynamic assembly. But non-ordered assembly is a non-regular pattern. That's what you have in DNA. We know from computer science you have to have non-regular patterns in order to have complexity for living systems. And I asked my colleagues, do you have any example of molecules without a biological entity acting upon them, moving to give an ordered assembly that is a non-regular pattern? And they sent me papers where chemists have taken molecules and assembled them in that way. I said, non-biological entity. You can't have a human doing this. Molecules don't move toward life. Well, even if you want to have molecules move toward life and you have human beings working upon them, can the human beings do it? And the answer is no. Next slide. So almost every chemical synthesis experiment in origin of life research can be summed up by a protocol analogous to this. They purchase chemicals generally in high purity from a chemical company. All right, so that's what they do. They first purchase the chemicals. They mix those chemicals together in water in high concentrations in a specific order under some set of carefully devised conditions in a modern lab. Then they can obtain a mixture of compounds that have a resemblance to one or more of the basic 4 classes of chemicals needed for life. So what you need for life is you need carbohydrates, nucleic acids, amino acids, and lipids. That's what we know. All life we know composes those 4 building blocks. So they try to make those 4 building blocks. Then they publish a paper making bold assertions about origin of life from these functionless crude mixtures of stereochemically scrambled intermediates, much like Miller did in 1952. Nothing has changed in 66 years. Nothing. Nothing's changed. Exactly where we were in 1952 is exactly where we have remained. Think about what's been done in science in the past 60 years. Think about how we have now satellite connectivity. Remember, in 1952, there had never been a satellite. Now we have satellite connectivity. We have cell phones. We have structure of DNA. We can manipulate DNA structure. Nothing has changed in origin of life studies in 66 years. That's important to realize. Then you engage with the ever gullible press to dial up the knob of unjustified extrapolations. Watch the mesmerized layperson exclaim, "You see, scientists understand how life formed." Then you encourage a generation of science textbook writers to make colorful, deceptive cartoons of raw chemicals assembling from cells which then emerge as slithering creatures from a prehistoric pond. That is exactly what is done every one of their experiments.
Evolution is a fact. It's documented by science.
Right, how did that happen?
I told you we don't know. Believe these things because they're facts proved by evidence. Evolution is also a demonstrated fact.
So you have no idea how it started?
No, nor has anybody.
Nor has anyone else. What do you think is the possibility that intelligent design might turn out to be the answer to some issues in genetics or in evolution?
It could come about in the following way. It could be that at some earlier time, somewhere in the universe, a civilization evolved by probably some kind of Darwinian means to a very, very high level of technology and designed a form of life that they seeded onto.
There we go. That's where life comes from, right? Prepare people because it's coming, and it's gonna be all the scientists that are gonna say, "Oh yeah, we told you it was aliens that made us."
The geniuses of time.
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't know you would speak.
Oh no, I just say the great minds of science here just fumbling and fumbling. Let's continue.
He just said that there must have been a place that some very high technology created life in the vastness of this cosmos, and he'll continue. It's exactly what you said at the comment before, like they seeded us. This is what the narrative is going to be, and now they're back.
Yep. Yes, nothing's new under the sun. Let's go.
Now, that is a possibility and an intriguing possibility. And I suppose it's possible that you might find evidence for that if you look at the details of biochemistry, molecular biology. You might find a signature of some sort of designer.
Wait a second. Richard Dawkins thought intelligent design might be a legitimate pursuit?
And that designer could well be a higher intelligence from elsewhere in the universe. Well, but that higher intelligence would itself have had to have come about by some explicable or ultimately explicable process. It couldn't have just jumped into existence spontaneously. That's the point.
So Professor Dawkins was not against intelligent design, just certain types of designers, such as God.
And it's not just that he's not against it, it's the only thing that can explain his theory, because he knows what that synthetic chemist just told us. He knows that. So he's resorting to intelligent design to explain how we evolved. So he's saying that God doesn't exist, but aliens must have made that because it can't happen on its own. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, who made the aliens? I mean, there's a creator. It's just not God, guys. It's just not God.
No, he's saying that they too must have come out of some process like evolution. Yeah, but wait, but if you just said that it cannot be without design, then how did they evolve without design? Oh, it was another civilization that seeded those before them. I mean, you know, and creation, crybaby, it's nothing personal, but if I have a different theory, it's not as stupid as this one.
I mean, just drop it. Go with. We will laugh at you guys so much less if you just go like simulation theory at this point. At this point,
truly.
I mean, it's dead, guys. It's dead. The evolution, it's dead.
And we are showing you the high priests of evolution admitting that it can't happen on its own, and there must have been some intelligent design behind it. But that can't be God. It has to be aliens. So
Yeah.
let's
Let me
proceed.
let me read this comment because it's a little bit profound. God knows the way the world is going to end. The reason he doesn't get involved is because we have free will. I always say free will is one of the meanest things God did to us.
Oh,
Kind
he
of.
didn't. Yeah, we decided to go that way because we have now arrived back to his will. We want his will be done. So that was the beginning. And then Satan came on and said, you can be your own gods. So that's where free will started getting in and destroying everything. But that's for another study.
Yep.
Thank you for that comment. Yes, so are we, Scott. So are we. And schools.
Amen. Yep.
Many people are extremely.
And no, wait. I paid a private university in the United States, and I wanted my money to be teaching me the truth, not these lies. It's not just state money. It's your money too, the money that you will pay to get your own education. If you don't go to a Christian school, university, this is what you're gonna be taught. The Dawkins monkey.
Illogical.
Of course, and this is where Ancient Aliens enters the picture. Coming from an academic like Richard Dawkins. He's like the main spokesperson for evolution these days. Which means if that's the main view of evolution, that's what's making it into the textbooks. And of course, that's what we are being indoctrinated with on a regular basis on primetime television. You know, Ancient Aliens is just one of many shows out there putting forth that idea.
So, you know, as I'm going through all this stuff and the question is popping in my head, look, are we going to trust science or the Bible?
46% of Americans believe the story of Genesis is true. So I just
It's amazing. It's astonishing.
I know that the world was created in 6 days.
So are you urging people to give up on the idea of creationism?
Oh, yeah. Please.
The amazing thing is that every atom in your body came from a star that exploded. And the atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than your right hand. It really is the most poetic thing I know about physics. You are all stardust. You couldn't be here if stars hadn't exploded because the elements, the carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, all the things that matter for evolution weren't created at the beginning of time. They're created in the nuclear furnaces of stars, and the only way they can get into your body is if the stars were kind enough to explode. So forget Jesus. The stars died so that you could be here today, okay? And anyway.
That's their goal. That's what they are doing. And we've exposed this one on a video that is called, we did it with Lupin. It was called Evolution Dismantled, Volume 1. And he's in an interview with Johnny Depp. And they have some props on the set. They have a table that has some books. And one book is Practicing Magic. And the other book is the Necronomicon. And they call themselves scientists. They are here to take you away from God and his Son. Because any other way but his Son implies your works to get into heaven. There is only one way to heaven, and it's the blood of the Lamb, not your works.
Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
By the end of the 1920s, astronomer Edwin Hubble, working with the large 100-inch telescope atop Mount Wilson outside Los Angeles, had established that our galaxy was only one of many galaxies in the universe.
We look out at other galaxies, on average they're moving away from us, and those that are twice as far away are moving twice as fast, and those that are 3 times as far away are moving 3 times as fast. And of course that makes us look like we're the center of the universe.
Such a condition would imply that we occupy a unique position in the universe, analogous in a sense to the ancient conception of a central Earth. This hypothesis cannot be disproved, but it is unwelcome and would only be accepted as a last resort in order to save the phenomena. Therefore, we disregard this possibility. The unwelcome position of a favored location must be avoided at all costs. Such a favored position is intolerable.
Several decades ago, we found a problem so great that it was brushed under the carpet for many a decade. And this is the fact that galaxies spin too fast. In fact, 10 times too fast. By rights, the galaxy should fly apart. Therefore, scientists said that we have to have dark matter, a halo of matter that surrounds the galaxy and holds the galaxy together.
And what have they discovered? Absolutely nothing. Zilch.
What is a little bit perturbing is that after 50 years, we still haven't found what the dark matter is. But on the other hand, that doesn't mean they're not there. It just means they're harder to find than we thought.
We look out in the universe, and 85% of all the gravity that's out there has some mysterious unknown source. We add up all the stars, the galaxies, the planets, the comets, the black holes, the dark clouds, everything out there that we can see, touch, smell, or taste. And it
Of course, you understand that I want to pose it here, right?
Definitely because it's from Business Insider and not because of a telescope.
Definitely because every time he appears or Bill Nye appears from his house because they're giving some form of an interview, they're showing this telescope. Like, okay, look, we got a telescope. We know, all right? So those are the scientists that have a telescope. And can you see this telescope?
It's like a periscope.
Exactly, right? So I just want to share with our viewers my telescope, and I'm a creationist. So beat that, Mr. Scientist. Oh, I wanted to go for the long one. No, you went for the toy one.
That is the one. I think I seen that one on Temu or like Wish for like $3.99 or something like that.
Yeah,
so
right.
Pretty pricey. 3.99, not 399.
Scott, I have lots of figurines as well, my brother. I'm a geek like you. All right. Plus, you will find. Can you? Did you see the zoom in that I did, or no?
Yeah, we see you zoomed in.
Okay. And I have like books and hardware mixed together. So, and here's my degree. So, all right. It says on science, Bachelor of Science. It's written right there. So, from an accredited American university. So, I suggest we give it a pause. So we play the video that Scott suggested because he said it's only 5 minutes.
And we haven't even gotten to the video that we were going to play in the beginning. So let me go and pull that one up real quick, and we probably will be shutting it down here in a little bit. Let me see. Where did I get that? Where did I see it at? Let's see. Talking. No dead air. Seashells by the seashore. Loud typing noises.
Wow. Sorry.
And let's see. It's okay. No, I'm trying to. Brave, for some reason, takes a long time to pull up the chat for me. I don't know if it does that for you.
Hey, what does what?
It takes a long time for Brave to pull up the it takes a long time for it to pull up the chat. There it goes. Okay.
So I'm picking up Scott's link. Is this the same one that you sent before, Scott?
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if we can play this though.
I'm gonna check it out. The best of friends. Oh,
Well, but that's fun. That is, I want to play it.
yeah. I'm skimming through it, brother, and because it's a continuous episode, like 138 until it changes a scene, we're gonna have a problem with the copyrights. We're gonna break it down though. I remember these scenes and I've seen this. So thank you for sharing with us, and we're gonna chop it down to smaller pieces, and we're gonna be using it soon. I
Yep.
remember.
We have
Isn't
to do.
Ross a
We,
creationist, right? If I
no, I
recall.
think Phoebe is a creationist. Ironically, like the silliest character from what I'm. Wait, Phoebe doesn't believe in evolution.
I think she does, and she says at some point that weren't the scientists at some point also believed that the Earth was flat. She says
Yeah.
that quote at some point. Oh, Ross's evolution. Okay, so you have it right. I had it wrong. Phoebe isn't creationist, just not a believer. Yeah, they wouldn't make her a creationist, right?
Well, I
Um,
mean,
I,
they
I
kind of.
found a scene. I'm sorry, Lupin. I found a scene in the Friends that they are playing the Ouija board, and it's right there. The camera is right there and showing them playing it, and then they pick up the box so you can see it on the camera what it is. So I've said earlier in some video that I have made that you see Friends. When I say you, I mean the world. They see Friends and they're like, oh, okay, it's safe for my children to watch. No, it's not. Not Friends either. Yeah, go ahead, Lupin. Sorry, bro.
I was just gonna say it's funny because hey, yes, the crazy board. Yes, for us Americans, it's the Ouija, but I mean, who cares?
Well, I see
Anyway,
the name. I see the name which says Ouija.
Ouija.
Board.
I get it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
that cue
So I
that
don't know.
that
Yeah, Ouija
cue,
board. Okay.
that cue can be tricky, but
Don't make fun of my Greek, of my English, because I'll start making fun of your Greek.
oh, there's a lot to make fun of there. Trust me.
Like at least I have an accent, you know.
I will make an accent so I sound more intelligent than I put on to be. I can attach an accent, you see, to fool our viewers, and so they know that I'm a man of high intelligence and high intellect,
That's why I'm
and
thanking
I
you.
know I know exactly what happened in the origin of life, how we came to be from these
Origin. You got
for
origin.
the origin of life. You see, we came from the asteroid, excuse me,
Yeah, yeah. There you
and
go.
through this asteroid that had the water, it had the water, and
Yeah.
in the water there was also ice, which when it made
I
an
need to hook you
impact.
up. I need to hook you up with hip hop because he was my best in the Greek classes that we did. By the way, we have two classes so far on Greek, how to read them, class 101 and 102. Hip hop was the best in class, and maybe I should send him over to teach you a couple of things so we can proceed with 103.
Yeah, no, we got to get there. I mean, we must get there. We must get there very
What I
quickly.
meant, what
Time
I
is
meant
time is
about the
running out.
accent, what I meant about the accent is that if I ask you or someone else to speak Greek, you don't even have an accent because you can't speak the language. So don't mess with me.
Yeah, it's really hard to do my accent because there's literally no accent. I mean, I some people say I sound like I'm from Texas. I don't know
We
what
don't have
somebody.
the Texas accent. You do.
I don't know what that even
Nah,
is.
Texas is like, you're from Texas.
I know I know from like country, I know like country, like we be in the South and we be talking, we kind of cut words up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I mean like I don't really see that. I don't see that accent, like that really I don't enunciate that much. So like I mean I don't really hear it. But some people may hear it. I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of them things that people do and like to talk about. Know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's get serious again. You have something to play?
Well, I wanted to play the video that we were initially going to play in the beginning, and then we're going to close it out. If that's
Well,
okay with you.
okay. Well, the whole thing with what we watched, I put the link for those that want to watch more of it. It has like another 10 minutes or even less. What is it? 27 2? I don't know. Yeah, 7 more minutes. Nine more minutes. But I think we got the point across about evolution, about aliens, about the whole thing. Now, if you want to use that video, the link is in the chat. And yeah, we don't have to. But I could show the Ouija board to the world here. And I'm saying that on the comeback that they did, I wondered if they showed my favorite funny moment of this funny series. Now, sorry for all the background, just focus on what you see on the window here. This is Friends, and the rest relates to other parts of that video.
So loud.
Oh, it's not shared?
No, it's just very loud.
Oh, loud. All right. But it's okay compared to the previous one. So what are they playing right here?
Are you sure it wasn't something that sounded like ginger, like ginger?
No, it was Ginger. I remember because when you told me, I said, the movie star.
Oh, man. That's the girl I was hiding from.
And they are playing with people because when you were watching this, you were only seeing their mouth, their faces, you were following the discussion. But they know that when you are watching this with your children are not following the discussion. So what they are doing is they are hiding it at the bottom of the screen, which is closer to the children, and you don't see it because you focus on the discussion.
Are you saying that they're using tricks and manipulation in popular culture and television to
No.
send messages,
Of
maybe
course not.
sublimity? I'm sorry, I'm not using my accent to make this more valid, but
Nah.
is that what you're saying? But I do have to agree with my friend Mad Mac here. I do love that show, Friends. I mean, say what you will. It's
Say
kind of
what you might, but don't ignore who it's for at the end of the night.
bars. I want to see the video that you sent me at last night. I want to see the video because I didn't see the portal one.
What video?
So the one that you sent me from Facebook.
Oh, okay. So our sister Shelly gave us that one, and you don't see a portal. The whole thing is like just a title and things like that, and it
Oh,
has
clickbait.
kinda. You see something at some point, but it's not. And I'm gonna share it because I downloaded it, but
Was
it also
was there anything new in the video? I didn't watch it because I didn't want to spoil it. I wanted to see it, live.
Okay, just checking my. Trying to find it, found it.
By the way, to our audience,
So you guys know about this, right? This happened on Miami on the 1st of 2024. Yeah. Pew, pew, pew. And all we have is that footage, but there is another camera angle and it's three men walking side by side. That's what it is. But from this side, with all the blue lights from the police, it looks weird like that. So what is going on? I can't full screen this. It's downloaded as this. Let me try. No, I can't. Yeah, and we have eyewitness people that said that it's 8-foot alien, but then we saw the original clip and it actually shows three men walking side by side. But before, if we are even about to touch how this unravels, I should not share this. I should actually share this edit, which not exactly an edit. I just uploaded this. Are you getting my screen?
yeah.
So read the text and please think about this. Not this text, what is coming right after it.
Is there supposed to be audio?
No.
Okay. Keep going.
That's what my American history professor told me. Every single war in US history was based on a false flag, including the first war after its birth, because American blood was not shed before the river border with Mexico. But past it. So I asked him back then, I said, sir, can you repeat that? So he repeated it for me. So it was 2005. And I said, then what about the twins that happened 4 years ago? And he said, oh, I didn't say anything.
Everybody's a movie star.
Yep. It was very hard to time that text. Very hard. So what we get is hundreds of videos that all have a clickbait and fake image. Like, look at that one.
Michael Knowles.
And we actually played this one, Gabe Poirot. We played that one on Ryan's show. And he's actually not showing a fake image because he's a Christian and he's showing you the event, and then he starts talking about Jesus and why you need to get saved. So that is a definite recommendation from this channel. We played it on Ryan's show. But overall, this is what you get. And it's not hard to deceive Americans. But thankfully, Americans are not so gullible 177 years later, right? I mean, they were gullible back then at the Mexican War, all right, but no, not today.
What's up, my brothers, coming at you with an emergency video. Hide your kids, hide your wives, because the Martians are here. Lock yourselves in the basement. This topic is blowing up right now. Miami is currently trending for the aliens, the ALMS. Finally, it's going down. And if Rockstar Games don't put this in GTA 6, I would not buy a GTA 6. But on a real though, this situation is blowing up right now. We got a bunch of stories that we're not talking about. We got people testimony as well. And we also have a leaked video that apparently got taken down. We got this brother's testimony to the aliens. He claims that there were ALMLs running after him. And I know that sounds crazy. That sounds kind of like a science fiction topic, but I want to dive right into it, like and share it. So the amount of police activity that you're seeing right now, it is absurd. It is crazy. I think it's safe to say that even when there is like actual school, you know what I mean? I cannot say words like that on YouTube. Even then, we don't have that big of a response. So what happened? I have never seen a response this big. Some people are also claiming that they even shut the airspace down, but these are just rumors. Like, we really don't know whether that happened or not. Some are claiming the airspace is shut down. And if that's really true, then I'm like, damn, okay, then something serious happened. Maybe the ALMS really showed up and they were shutting the airspace down so they do not go back to their planet. I mean, that's not how it works, but you know what I mean. 60 police vehicles were, we have the reports of that showed up. And this all happened on January the 1st. And the official report here is this, that some teenagers started fighting. That's the official report. That's what they're saying. Maybe it's a distraction. Maybe this is a distraction because of the island situation. And
They're not running, by the way. They were just walking.
now this is blowing up because on January the 1st, when you were maybe not celebrating New Year like me, where you were just staying at home. I know some of you celebrate, some of you didn't. I mean, I stayed at home, you know, so just another day, you know, I'm saying, but happy 2024 to all my studs and chads out there. This happened on January the 1st, but it's now blowing up today. Then we have like people claiming that they were at the Miami Mall yesterday and the government is lying. There were no kids fighting. Everyone started panicking because these great creatures were walking around. They didn't make any noise or sounds, but stared and watched you move. I tried to make a video, but you know what I mean, right? Like nobody captured a video. The official response here is this, that kids were fighting, teenagers were fighting, but
So we have another tweet, which is on capital letters, which means that if it's capital letters, it has got to be serious, right?
Gotta be true.
Yeah, you don't capitalize your letters if it's a lie. So let's watch the real clip.
together having a threesome. Come on, man.
You know what I mean? And then there's a...
Well, this took quite a turn.
And that's
Sorry.
that we see 8 to 10 feet tall alien creatures. Do justice to this topic and cover everything that we see. 8 to 10 feet tall alien, 3 police officers walking next to each other, and that's what it said. That this is not an alien, it's not an ALML, it's 3 cops walking together. Listen, man, I don't know whether that's real. 3 cops walking together having a threesome. Come on, man.
You know what I mean? And then there's, of course, this video here, which I think is not what people claim it is. They're claiming this is like some tall humanoid thing walking around, when actually, if you look at it, this is the best footage I could find. It's very obviously just 3 people walking. And this is the only reason you couldn't tell on the other ones is because they're too grainy, but you could see 3 people walking here, 1, 2, 3. And then these are the cops right there. So that video right there is just completely not real, completely, it's not like some 8-foot tall thing walking around. So it's ridiculous. But of course, then there's someone who claimed that this is a still of one of them, which who knows, they could have just made this up. I don't know. So, like, the whole thing is like you don't know what's what. It's like the question is, I was hoping I could figure out what was going on here.
But also, we have this guy's testimony. Roll it.
Anyway, thank you, Stump, for pointing that link to us with the real footage that shows them they were patrolling and they were going one way and then the other one, and then the other way. And yeah, the other video, brother, it's much longer.
Yep.
And it just shows like the
There's
whole
more of the same.
side, you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting. Well, now that we finally got to it, look, guys, there's a lot of deception. There's a lot of lies going on out there. We're just talking about you. We ain't telling you what to think, but we will tell you where to find the answers, and that would be the Bible, because it doesn't change. And if you play the very first few seconds of it, I mean, every answer you need, it's in there. It's in there. Try it.
And not only that, predictions about things that are going to take place, and even that there will be a great deception coming in. It will be sent. It will be allowed by God because of those that deserve it. And they will fall for it because they trust unknown YouTubers with questionable eyewitnesses who nobody knows who they are, one or two, capital letters, wow, and thumbnails. So when you talk to your friend and you're like, the whole thing is a delusion, he's going to say, well, would everybody be lying? What do they have to earn? Well, if you look at the views, 400,000 views at the first day that I cut this clip from, it should now be to 4 million views. Oh, they have something to earn. And it's the Bible that is telling us that the root of all evil is the love for money. So they don't work for Satan, but they are working with Satan. I just don't get it.
Amen. All right. And I was going to close this out. I just wanted to give a couple Bible verses out there to kind of close it out here. I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go? You're ready to go. I'm about to kick you off the ship.
I think we covered the subject all right for a first show. Let's see what the next event is going to be.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why. Let me make sure this is sharing.
It is.
Okay, I don't know why I felt the need to look up verses for.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. Like, if I've been dealing with people, or maybe it was just kind of spontaneous. Maybe there's a reason why I felt like looking this up. But let's see what the Bible says when it comes to dealing with fools. Let's see. For you, being so wise, tolerate the foolish gladly. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Proverbs 13:20. He who walks with the wise man will be wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. Very important lesson out there to some people. I'm not going to say who, but be careful with who you surround yourself with. Proverbs 18:2. A fool does not delight in understanding, but only in revealing in his own mind. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims folly. Proverbs 29:11. A fool always loses his temper, but a wise man holds it back. Proverbs 18:6. A fool's lips bring strife, and his mouth calls for blows. Careful. Let's see. Proverbs 26:4. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you will also be like him. So, wanted to get some scripture in here.
That's the most fitting one right here for the professors that keep preaching evolution, because they're preaching it. It's a religion. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. They have degrees, but they didn't see God when He is evident everywhere, and they became fools.
I mean, seriously, just look at your fingertips. Just look at your fingerprints, and tell me you don't see any kind of creation. With that being said, guys, I think it's time to go. Thank you for enjoying our short stream. For all you guys, we hope we made it somewhat entertaining for you. If you guys stuck around the entire time, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brothers.
Yep. Hopefully this word gets out to the people that need to hear it and not the people that already know what's going on. But in order for them to hear it, they got to be willing to hear it. So with that being said, I'll close it out with this video, and we're going to be saying adios. Adios, amigos.
Before you close it out, I'll just say we have a Bible study in 1 hour by our brother Stump. So
oh, boy.
Keep an eye out.
All righty. And
take care, Scott. We just said thank you very much for being with us. And we're going to see you on Stump's show in an hour.
I found most people don't know who they are. They really don't. I know my name. I know my age. I know where I live. Yeah, that's not you, though. If you ask the average person who they are, they'll give you their name. They'll say, I'm Bob Proctor, but I'm not. Bob and Proctor are 2 words. My parents give them to me. They're called names, but it's not me. It's my name. Then somebody will say, well, this is me, but this isn't me either. It's my body. Like, you never phone down here to the studio and say, body won't be in today. It's sick. Okay, you know, we don't say am hand or am leg. It's my hand, my leg, my body, my name. Who am I? See, I think we live simultaneously on 3 planes of understanding. We're spiritual creatures, we have an intellect, and we live in physical bodies. But because we lack awareness or understanding of who we are, we're totally locked into a physical world, and we let things outside of us control us. 95% of the population are reacting to life. They're not really living at all.
I